school year.
Yeah, exactly. No, something's happening. It's like I get that like pregame feeling. Everything's kind of off. Feeling like that. But what's funny though, I've been thinking about this ever since it happened. I was in Nike has these like stores that are not like the Nike store, but they're like outlets kind of. I was in there, and they always have really good like sweatpants and shirts and stuff. So I was cleaning up there, dude. So I'm going in now. They're like graphic tees. They get all of the like graphic tees that don't quite make it into the Nike store. So it's kind of like almost like a flea market version of the Nike, but it's made by Nike. It's very strange. So I was looking at one shirt and just laughing at it because it had the Nike swoosh, and then it showed an eyeball. Yeah. And then below that, so hard. So eyeball, so hard.
Oh, I was like,
yeah.
Now, like,
I was looking at it. I was looking at it, and I kind of like laughed at it and just like shook my head at it, like looked at it visually with it in my hand and walked away. 20 seconds later, a black dude comes up, swoops it off the shelf. He's like, thank God.
It's like,
he was just like, he was like, eyeball so hard. Like, and he looked at me like, you don't?
Yeah. He's like, you gave up this chance? Damn, that's crazy.
Fumbled the bag, dude.
Yeah.
100%. Are you kidding me? Yeah, he could. He was probably telling the story like, I came up on this shirt. I came up on the shirt because this white boy scoffed at it. Dude, it was, I laughed. I was the mark in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
From the 5 to the 6, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, I can't do that shit. And I don't never vote, cause I'm fucking broke. And either way, I know the police ain't gon' leave me alone. On a plane by to visit Glen Rock, need crypto, told me I should bring the Glock with me. So I packed up my piece and I'm sliding. Cause we might get caught up in a riot. Middle finger Trump, middle finger Biden. Fuck a left, fuck a right, is you riding? Know you love to see it, dudes rocking. Ain't no politics, baby, we just talking. From the birds to the bricks, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. Who you with?
It's like the classic. That's like guys' version of the sitcom. Two women at like a designer boutique, you fighting over an item or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But why didn't you get it? It's like, seriously.
I just don't ball that hard.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I ball that hard.
It draws a lot of attention because then people are staring at your shirt to figure it out. Do the joke?
That is one thing I hate is when people stare at your shirt for too long. Because again, there are people who buy shirts to be stared at.
Yeah,
that's not me.
Yeah, there's like because Portland has the it's crazy because Nike and Adidas are up here, right? And it's crazy. I didn't know Adidas was too for the longest time.
I didn't know Adidas was a PNW.
Yeah, they have to. I bet they feel like they have to because Nike's here, And so they have like the Nike employee store, and you can get passes to go to the employee store, like Willy Wonka, like golden ticket and some shit. But I've never been, but I heard you go, and it's like literally, it's like, yeah, 40% off. It's only $120 for this, shitty graphic tee, and it's it's like still the most ridiculous thing ever. Shout out Oregon, dude. I love you. Probably I love my wife got me at a yard sale that Oregon jacket. It's kind of tight. We clown on Oregon football a lot, but
number one team in the nation.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, dude.
Number one team in the nation. So you can't really
you lose Jackson Powers Johnson, the most dominant center in the game, and you still retain your bout.
And you have a left-handed soy quarterback, and you're still doing all of this. That's
quarterback.
Amazing. You have it's Portland soy horror. I still keep thinking about Portland soy horror.
Oh man, cut deep into my soul. Can't wait for
everyone. That's a Salem's Lot episode's coming out very soon. Probably the end of the week. You want to be on the premium feed for that.
It's easy top 20% gain of fiction. Easy top 20%.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Some news though. Some before we get rolling. I haven't really had an opportunity to really talk about it. We led off with the episode last time, but our guy Jeremy Loffredo. It was a dicey situation he was in for a while. I obviously is it ever over? I don't know, but other friend of the show, Max Blumenthal, whom I had been kind of talking to for a little bit, just kind of trying to get updates, not trying to pry too much, but just kind of being like, hey, is he good? Like, is our boy good over there? But Jeremy Loffredo, you'll know him from many episodes, at least 5 or 6 that he's been on Rare Candy. I think the first show he ever came on was this one, and back in the day, the most honest journalist in the game. He was detained and arrested, formally arrested. I guess it's arbitrary arrest by the Israel military.
Arrest.
Yeah, exactly. I know they did not. I think it was a real one. It was not a Joseph K. And it was at the West Bank checkpoint. He was blindfolded, shackled in a military truck, then held in solitary confinement for 3 days with little food or water. Again, this is from Max Blumenthal. And
they put him on an intermittent fast. They were just trying to keep his blood numbers up.
It's fucked, man. It's so fucked. And so I guess 2 judges ruled Jeremy was not They were saying he was aiding the enemy, which that's scary when you start getting accusations like that, like literally aiding the enemy. And for a while, we're all thinking hey, regardless of who's on what side, this dude is an American journalist in an American ally country, right? This shouldn't be happening one way or another. If anything, you just deport him, right? Or something, just get out of here, never come back, kind of thing. But they held him for a while, and finally they had released him from jail, and then they had released him from jail, and then they had said, well, you need to stay here while we conduct an investigation. Now, October 20th, that ended. The investigation ended, and he, as of earlier today, he was on a plane back to his hometown in the US. So he's gonna tell his story. I mean, I'm not gonna be that big of an opportunity to be like, Jeremy, whatever, but I'm sure he's gonna be all over the place. I'm dying.
But I'm the opposite. In the Discord, I was like, nah, dude, come on the show right now. I was an opportunist.
No, I mean, look, hey, we won't say no. I just mean, I don't want to be, hey, how's it going? Dude. Do you want to, that's so lame when people do that. Oh my God, I was worried so much. Please come on here and live stream with us. That's
Israel, man, really not beating we're totally gay allegations, dude.
I hate that shit, man. I can, dude, everything that country does is so fucking gay, man.
And I get it, dude. I get it. The college protesters in America are lame as fuck. But Israel, dude, come on. It's so fucking gay, dude.
I know. They're always like, we're making HRT here. This is very, very this is very important that this operation go and that we rule the Middle East on your dime. And pay for our healthcare and all of these things. And
Israel HRT is like Afghanistan poppies.
I know.
Dude.
Yeah. Well, hey, I wouldn't be surprised. But there's first off, I understand why people do it, but I hate watching the videos of people burning. Please don't show me. I don't want to see people lit on fire and children in hospitals burning. It's like, I believe you. We're going to get you right back to the episode, but I just wanted to let you guys know of a few other things we offer at Rare Candy Industries. We have a Substack with free and paid subscription options. Free subscribers get access to all written content. That includes Bob's Red Pill. That's the best thing going on the internet right now. Trust me. Paid subscribers get full access to our premium episode feed. And that's just every episode we don't necessarily want to share with the general public, if you know what I'm saying. Again, that's rarecandy.substack.com. We also have merch. That link's a little long for me to say right now, but go to the description, go to our merch store, and find a shirt that's right for you. We have Rare Candy shirts, Dr. Bronner soap label shirts, Rishi mushroom shirts, all types of stuff there. Check it out. There's got to be something for you. And lastly, check us out on social media. On Instagram, we're Rare Candy Pod, but on Twitter, we're at Rare Candy Pod 1. All right, enough of that. Let's get you back into the episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh gosh, scary stuff. But anyways, that's just an update on him. There had been people asking, but I didn't want to speak without knowing what was going to happen there. So that was definitely holding my breath, and you never know. You just never know what's going to happen there. That country is not that country is sus.
I mean, he clearly wasn't doing it. People were like, I saw there's always that one random Twitter anon that knows everything, and they have some Star of David avatar, and they're like, actually, you don't understand the situation. He was giving enemy missile exact coordinates, and
what would you do in that situation?
Yeah, it's like I first of all, I fucking doubt that. I doubt that Jeremy Loffredo is like Israeli or is like Palestinian intelligence or whatever, and I'm like, second of all, like, okay, it's just like fucking and yeah, there still was no mainstream media coverage of that, right? Of that, like that American citizen was detained by
What
Israelis.
he did
Yeah,
was say what was happening was Israel was running this campaign going, look, we're still more humane than Hamas is. Like, they're our enemy, but we're still taking care of the Palestinians here, no problem and stuff. But Jeremy more or less exposed that they were like stopping the aid trucks from coming into the Palestinians, doing all of that. And look, I will say this about Jeremy. I've all the times we've talked to him, he's always known what he's doing is risky. Like, he's not I'm sure it was still harrowing and scary, but he's always known like it might get real. Now for me, it's weird. This stuff feels like what we do, I think, is very real and stuff, but like consequences like that, like geopolitical consequences, I was like, oh shit, like that can happen to somebody that we've talked to.
Yeah, and
That
it's
part, of course it can though, right? Like,
yeah, and I mean, that's what makes him so special, though. Is that he's willing to go and do all that, and East, not only West Bank Palestine, but East Palestine, United States during that shit.
Canadian trucker protest, his finest work in my opinion. The Canadian trucker protest,
that
but
shit was so ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculous, man.
Well, no,
that
and
whole
then
thing.
I saw some people, right? So then there were people on the left, and this is how, like, the minute you start agreeing with them on one thing, they're like, yeah, of course, right? Like, he was there to stop Israel, but he used to work for Rebel News, which is a Zionist rag, and he was doing anti-vax right-wing propaganda and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, so Israel should just have their way with him then. He gets what he's. It's like you can't just support something like and I would comment on something and people would go, and that's why if you ever support any politician, okay, I'm worried about our boy just being okay. I'm not not there. It's like it's all such a it all just becomes this big like team sport thing, and I'm like, man, I just want the dude to be all right. Like, we were legit scared for the guy.
I know. I was just thinking about him today. Not to like make it a thing about me, but he did cross my mind pretty much every day for the last however long this was going on. And then today I was like, damn, did that ever get solved? And then I just saw you posted on the Discord. And
I had been talking with people that told me to until certain alerts were made, like, don't speak out because we just don't know, and you don't want to be saying something's going to happen and then it doesn't. So I had
Jeremy returning minus 200, dude. Was quick, it was easy. Yeah, it was free money basically.
What a guy. I mean, what a guy. So shout out, rest up, dude, because holy shit, that couldn't have been fun.
Dude, you got the StreamYard link. Just say it anytime.
Slide through anytime, bud. But anyways, the funny thing today, or the couple was Trump at McDonald's has literally fried in seed oil libtard brains. Libtard brains are seed oil fried right now, dude. Just deep frying their brains.
Straight cottonseed canola blend, 50-50.
Oh my god! First off, okay. So what he did, right, is he showed up at a McDonald's. I don't even know where it was. It wasn't even like, I thought it was just like, that's funny. Whatever, like he showed up.
I know, that's the fact that that's like literally like we're sympathetic to him and we're just like, oh, okay, cool. It wasn't like some like, oh no, what, sorry to cut you off.
I didn't get that excited.
They freaked out. They were like, go on. Sorry.
So what happened was that they he goes to McDonald's and he was like fulfilling orders, right? It was, of course, it was an opportunity thing. I don't think he denies that. It's not like Trump clocked in. Trump didn't apply at the McDonald's employee portal and get like an interview. And guess what the fact checking was? Donald Trump didn't apply for a McDonald's job through the employee portal. He didn't actually take orders. McDonald's actually wasn't open that day. And we're like, dude, we know. It was like literally commercial.
It's like the fact checking that is so insane. Like, who thought that he was clocking into a shift at McDonald's? It is crazy. By the way, the fit, insane. I want that apron, dude. That apron goes dummy hard, dude. That's crazy.
Also, it is funny though, the skilled labor argument, because it's like, I'm not even hating, bro. Like, I'm not even hating, because like, there's a different thing that happens with like labor and skill. I've never been one of those, your job means nothing, because I hate kiosks. So it's like, regardless, like we still need to have, I think, people and like competent people and stuff. But it is funny because like Nina Turner, who's like an old like Bernie like chick, she's just like in that like graveyard of like Bernie Sanders people that just like pop up once in a while on social media. And she was just like, fast food is skilled labor, like just all the like listing it over and over again. And it's just like, okay, yeah, but that's not what's happening here. Like Trump just went on there, and I think it was a dig at Kamala for saying she worked at McDonald's, which it's really funny that there's no proof of that. And there's all these like publications coming out. It's like actually McDonald's is like not sharing information of their employees like in the past. So just stop asking if she worked there at McDonald's, which again, nobody cares, but it's a weird thing to lie about.
Yeah.
Like that you would work at McDonald's, like, and just lie about it because it's like
it's funny how McDonald's
it's her hot sauce in her bag kind of like thing. It's very strange.
Maybe that's the play. Maybe that's literally that's that we knew that was a sore spot. So he's like, I'll play the McDonald's angle a little further. But it's funny, I do find, and they also like, this is a more niche kind of critique, but it's like, oh, this is the guy. This is the Make America Healthy Again guy working at McDonald's. And it's like, yeah, that nonsensical aspect of it is part of the allure and the charm, I think, is what people, it's like no one, it's like, it's like no one's, and then the RFK thing that he's like, did you know that they used to use tallow? I love that, man. Dude. It's so
dude,
funny.
if RFK gets in there and goes to war, that's literally all I would do if I was Trump. I'd be like, dude, just go to war. Like there's a faction of people who got me elected, who got me elected that hate these seed oils, that think they're Trump's probably like, I have no clue if this is true or not, but like, can you just get canola, rapeseed, and cottonseed oil off the market? And RFK will be like, yeah, let's do it.
That'd be funny if that's all they got done. That's the one, nothing else got accomplished but that, dude. It was just a fucking
no. And if it did anything get worse, then you'd have to call that a success.
Yeah,
you'd have to call that a success, I think, because again, we've talked about that. We think Trump is not. There's some people that try to big brain supporting Trump by saying he's an accelerationist candidate, but I think he's decelerationist. Like I think he's just a kind of let's just stop the insane slippery slope, because there's a slippery slope. That
2 weeks to slow the spread, dude. Slow the spread.
It's a slope spread, dude. That's what they're doing. On the other side, they are slippery sloping all day because
they're pouring straight. They're pouring straight canola on that slide, dude. It's just like a straight slip and slide.
It's really funny when I work for paving contractors, and they sit around like with their shovels, and that asphalt sticks, obviously. So on their shovel, they literally will just use canola oil to like grease up their shovel. Like they'll just have like a bottle of like Wesson there and just all over the thing. And
that's the grandma special, dude. That old school bottle.
It's crazy. It's funny in the old Stephen King book, in the I think it was Salem. It might have been Salem's Lot. It might have been that or one of the other ones I was reading during the time, that she dropped. They're like, and the glass bottle of Wesson's smashed. And I'm like, damn. So at least it used to come in a glass bottle.
Yeah, one day canola. One day, not far ago, canola.
It didn't have glass bottle. It didn't get microplastics all in, like like flaking off into your canola. It already has microplastics, but like I can imagine like, oh man, at least it used to come in like a glass bottle. Like we've like declined on packaging and the product. It's quite good. Quite a good time to be in here. And I don't know if that's going to be on the docket for Make America Healthy Again, but they got to give RFK something to do.
Yeah, and my hope, and you guys know me, I think the return to tallow with the V return, I don't think it'd be like a bad thing health wise. I think it'd be, the benefits of it would be maybe slightly overstated. Like some people think that's literally like gonna solve all heart disease, and I'm telling you it won't. But that being said, I would like to travel back in time to like 1958 and just try one of those fucking 5-cent burgers and fries. They hit
the Ray Kroc.
There's actually, what's the Stephen King, the 11-22-63,
the JFK book,
JFK one. They talk. I didn't read that, but they made the James Franco miniseries about it, and one of the plot points is like, okay, you got to go back in time and you got to try the food. It's way better. And he eats a piece of pie from like 1961. And he's like, holy shit. He's just freaking out how good it is. So,
I mean, I could see that if that would be the case. I mean, you'd have somebody like physically just bake it. It would just taste homemade, I feel like.
Yeah.
That's
it was before like the pesticides got really out of control and everything,
Right.
you know. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, but what's funny about this is the people going, that photo with Donald Trump where he's waving out the window, that's staged. And I'm like, okay, let's look back at something maybe from their side that's been staged for a while. 2020, you have Nancy Pelosi with kente cloth on and a mask kneeling for George Floyd, which is hilarious that you're kneeling for George Floyd, by the way. Just in retrospect,
dude, Brad Kelly with the tweet, it had me dying today. It's like, I wonder if there's anything else that has been staged over the last couple of years politically.
Pandemic. Just like, all of these things. You have Tim Walz like going, and this is how you change an air filter. But
I switched from a 4-3 to a 3-4 at halftime, and we'd made some halftime adjustments at the state.
I tell my guys, I know FTMs that could set the edge better than you, and you know what? They get out there and. I'm not even trying to put down the FTMs because I love that stuff. And his eyes when he talks like he's like, I love that stuff. It's the best stuff in the world. He's like,
dude, that's such a funny. Sorry, not to just go off on the walls. That's such a funny. I know it's all fake, but it's like, okay, you're the duck hunting football coach, car repair guy, and you're a total fag. Like it's like that doesn't make any sense. It's like,
and I go to Craig and Auto Parts, and let
me tell you, the First Amendment is shit. I swear to God, dude. As I'm fixing my carburetor, it's like, dude, it's so funny.
I see people from all walks of life saying there's too much free speech.
All
the time. And I'm changing their air filters for them, and I'm walking their taking the groceries into their house, and they're like, you know what? I think my child is going to transition, and I'm like, you know what? I support that. Donald Trump doesn't.
Yeah,
and it's like that's
Minnesota. Like, it's Minnesota is what that is. Sorry, Ryan.
Minnesota. It's Minnesota. It's exactly what it is. And I just all of their stuff is staged. It's really funny that they have to Snopes this stuff so everybody could smirk and say they think Trump really works at McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I know he doesn't, but I'm aware that he has another job.
Yeah.
Project 2025 is his other job.
And I'm far from the first to point this out, but there is something refreshing about like a straight up billionaire doing political things and a part of the thing, but not pretending to be anyone they're not.
Right.
Versus the weird thing on the other side where you write all the tax breaks to the billionaires and everything, but you still pretend to be like a minimum wage guy or something. And it's just like, everyone can see that's fake, and it's just, it doesn't translate. And the other thing, I don't know if you want to talk about this too, but I find it so funny that like the Democrats, they're like, 2 weeks to the election. How do we get men involved in our politics again? It's like literally like,
talk about
dude, like straight, like 16 years of just vitriol and acid. And then it's like, 2 weeks out, it's looking kind of rough. How do we backtrack on all that?
Yeah, they're like looking at their paperwork. They're like, okay, this can't be right. White men are just not voting Democrat.
Dude, this
is crazy. Now, hold on. Run the numbers again. Wow. Okay, I guess they're not. All right, what should we do? No, we can't cater to them because that would be bad. We'll lose our women voters, but not really, but we should. Let's just tell them that women can't get abortions if they don't vote for them.
The new thing now is like you can't get laid if you say you're not going to vote or you're voting for the wrong person.
But it's like you literally called me a rapist, so I already have a way.
Yeah, and it's the other thing is like that also just and
I'll be that, I guess I'll go the alternate route that you just say that I do constantly.
But the other thing is like that also just doesn't track with reality. Like male feminists are getting tons of pussy.
They're the ones raping.
I know, dude. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like Gone Girl. Or Gone. Remember when she sets up the male feminist, dude?
Yeah.
Gone Girl. Like
Neil
that's
Patrick,
exactly.
dude. Yeah.
No, it was the other guy.
Oh yeah. The like the Bernie Bro podcast.
He gets more shine in the book, but that dude. He's like a total like Chapo patron guy that he gets like he gets completely he gets completely cucked by that. But I laugh because. Yeah. Okay. I tweeted something like paraphrasing it in a sense where it was just like, all right, guys, like I hate you and I want you to die and you're the reason everything in the world sucks. However, you should vote blue. I'm still going to hate you.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to change. All of my content, movies, film, books will be about how you're evil.
Yeah.
And people will go like, well, isn't that reality? I'm like, aren't you trying to, first off, even if that was reality, aren't you trying to win an election? Shouldn't you like lie to me that we're cool?
Dude, exactly.
like,
yeah.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's the reality with white men in the world. But I just mean like, you should be lying to me. You should be like, nah, man, come on, right here, brother. You know what I mean? Tim Walz. But it's just not true. They're floundering. I don't know if they're going to win or lose. I don't have a grasp on how this is going to go.
Yeah.
But I do know that there's people who will like. I've talked to some people who are just dyed in the wool Democrat, vote blue, and they like freak out because they're just like, I don't know how anyone could vote for Donald Trump. I'm like, you don't know how at all?
Yeah.
Like at all. You can't see one scenario. And they go, oh, well, if they're racist.
Yeah.
I'm like,
dude, I caught a close one to me, loved one, doing the whole, because I was just kind of, and we don't really talk about this often, but I was like, yeah, don't you find it interesting that he's gained support from people of color year after year? Like it's not like people see him and they reject him. It's the opposite from black people. And they were doing the whole like, well, they don't actually know, they're actually wrong. They don't know what's best for them, and I was like, got your, it was so good. It was like, and they could, at mid sentence, they knew they were doing it, and it was like one of those short, like you could see the machinations kind of. It's so interesting, man, because it's like that's the best one, and again, and I think it is like the immigration thing where it's like, wait, hold on, they're getting fucking debit cards. It's like, it's like, come on, what? Yeah, it's the debit cards, dude. It's the fucking debit card. Yeah, dude. It's
can
crazy.
You imagine? I mean, it's gone. And again, at no point does this have a Democrat person going like, "Are we bad? Like, are we like, is this? Are we ruining everything?
Yeah.
Should we even? I mean, I don't care. I really can't see myself ever like getting into that side like at all. Like, because I think they're too far gone. I don't think. First off, like again, I say this all the time on here. They legitimately just take little shots at the First Amendment all the time. Which is
they have nothing to offer. Yeah, and it's like, oh, what it would have to be a complete polar shift, like a magnetic polar shift.
Yeah,
for anything, and it's not going to happen. Like it's over. It's over at this.
And
point.
I'm sorry, like you looked at like in 2016, it was like I don't remember what the Democrat like sole issue was in 20. I just think they thought they were going to win so bad that it was kind of just classic like yes we can, Will I Am, Michael Franti and Spearhead shit like for Hillary basically and Broad City. They kind of just did the regular stuff. Now in 2020, it was all about like access to voting because of Russiagate. Russiagate fucked everything up.
Georgia,
we need to have access. Yeah, we need to do all this. Then now it's just reproductive rights. Which okay. How it might be harder to get pregnant now than ever.
Yeah.
But yet the ferocity of women who are birth controlled to the gill, cycle tracked to the gill, have Plan B in the stores, which they'll be like, they want to take all that stuff away. It's like, okay, like that's number one.
It is. It's crazy. It literally
they
all number one issue. By the numbers, it's literally it's crazy. It's like every year it is the number one issue. Which is why they didn't want to codify Roe v. Wade into law for so long, because it removes that strategic, if they did that, they would lose all, it'd be over. They'd lose basically.
There'd be no threat of.
There'd be no threat. Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
The game would be up. But it's great when it is a huge red pill to understand. Like literally, that is the number one issue that drives every presidential election for the last 50 years or whatever, and for the next however long this lasts. Yeah, it's weird.
And think about it, like, because right now, they roll their eyes when you say, like, well, it's up to the states. Like that's basically all the Roe v. Wade thing was. Like they made it a states issue, and to them they go, well, they have to immediately think about some composite indigenous woman or something that can't get an abortion that's pounding on doors.
Yeah.
Wow, where? ¿Dónde está? Planned Parenthood. I bet you the woman's not white in their head.
Yeah.
You know it's not. Like they have to like make the woman like Connie from King of the Hill or something. Like
Yeah.
like like that like I was raped. Like please like that because like there's people in California. I'm like, you know that's never going away here.
Yeah.
It's never. I mean we have dude. I was like. I'll be driving through a city and I'll look and I'm like, fuck, there's been a Planned Parenthood here this whole time. It's like really dusty on the outside too. I'm like, there's been a Planned Parenthood here this whole time. And I don't
it's like A&W restaurants or something.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
Man, Foster's Freeze. Is Foster's Freeze still on?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's like a Mandela effect, but it's Planned Parenthood.
You're looking for you're looking for the city monument sign on it. Like, you're like, oh, okay. It's they're preserving it. I see.
Better Business Bureau sticker, you know. It's just,
but I mean, like, there's so much you would think, right? Like that with all of these prevention items, and look, there's many issues with hormonal birth control. There's many issues, but like I would imagine it's a bit more spiritually humane than abortion. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's different. Yeah, but I agree. I think for sure.
Like I'm again not really making a case for any of it. I just mean like, okay, I don't know that we're ever going to go back to like none of that stuff existing. It's just it just doesn't really check out. But what I mean is, I would like you should be pumped that like all that stuff's available, like all of like the contraceptive stuff and all of that. But like they're just like, no, I can't get this like horrible process done to my body that like I always regret. You know, or like deep down, not always regret, but deep down have some like horrible issues with and stuff like that should be like an emergency glass thing, but they treat it as though like it's just part of being a woman.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't think that is.
Yeah. And it's and again, I'm not trying to, it's weird. I know someone who a woman who I don't see eye to eye with on a lot of stuff like politically and, this is back in the day, but they had at least one abortion, if not more than one. And we're kind of nonchalant about it. And, you know, we're just like, whatever. I'm all retrospective. I'm hearing them talk about it. And then had tried to birth a child and had a miscarriage at some point in the process. And had later went to like a Louis C.K. show. And one of his first jokes was like about miscarriaging a baby and, you know, like shock value kind of thing. And
of course.
And she said it just like shook her to her core and obviously ruined the rest of the concert and stuff. And then, you know, of course, as a man, you're thinking, well, okay, you aborted at least one baby on purpose. And that, you know, and it's just doesn't make logical sense. And I reckon there's a lot of women that agree with me, you know, that would agree with my take. And it's, you know, it's just strange, you know. It's strange stuff.
What's weird is you would think that's something a young woman thinks, and then as they get older they realize you know, but it's not the case.
No,
60-year-old women, 60 plus up, like liberal women, they go to war. This is Sparta over
it's because when they were forming those takes, it kind of it's cemented in there, I think. And now it's like, you know, it's like it's not like original thought kind of thing, you know what I mean? I think
like
that's like a second wave kind of a thing, right? You know,
like if they find out that abortion's infringed on in any way, they look up to the sky and like see like a hologram of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, like the Teletubby son with like a tear coming down her eye, you know?
Yeah,
that's like that's how this is. Like it's like the old Indian like littering commercials with the teardrop.
It's the Italian Indian guy. Yeah.
The great Sopranos episode. Yeah, where they actually meet that guy. It's really funny. Rad. Yeah,
but yeah, I know that's Scott Adams' thing. He's always like, it's literally up to the states. Everyone in the majority wants this, so it should be no problem. You know, it's literally it's up to you guys. You know, it's like it's literally up to you. You know, meaning women. You know, like women could create their own destiny with this if they want to.
Oh, they don't want the W to work. Showing their own destiny, a job.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't want that W.
WNBA ratings are like a soft test of the controlling the destiny.
Dude, that's a perfect wow, dude.
Did you hear that? The new thing they're getting out of the CBA for the NBA, which literally props up their league. So now they're getting too big for their britches. So
what's the CBA?
Collective bargaining agreement. So
I was like, is that the Canadian Basketball Association?
They're part of the NBA props them up.
Mhm.
Right. So and then the NBA plus like Disney, ESPN will like subsidize, as we
Yeah.
said many years ago, subsidize Lesbian Shadow League.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
all of they're trying to get out of that now, and they're like, oh, we're good, like we're our own thing now. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right,
Yeah.
yeah, like okay, but no,
Dude,
and
they do
it's
not want it's so funny, dude. It's such a Caitlin Clark thing, the wrong people, aka non-liberal men being fans of the league and gambling on it,
yeah,
and
and then
the one thing
racism.
I did see, the what's that league? I don't think it's Ice Cube's one, but they have the new 3-on-3 where they each get paid like for eight weeks of work, they get paid like a quarter mil, which is more
Man,
than I was like, that one, I fuck with that one. I want to watch that one.
yeah,
That'd
that
be,
would be sick.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's, dude, the CBA thing. That's funny. I didn't know about that.
But
I
no,
heard.
like there's these there are these I saw a friend of the pod, Andrew Whitstadt.
Oh yeah, the
He
homie.
had
I
a
like
really
love that guy.
really
Yeah.
good take about because our another friend Ben Braddock posted like this kind of like, this is like a white dudes for Harris thing. This and like, let's see how it's going. And it was all these dudes like bragging about vasectomies and like,
Yeah.
wearing like their sweatpants and stuff. And Andrew, I thought this was interesting. He goes, I think a lot of this stuff is like jealousy from women that like men don't get pregnant. Like, so
Mm,
they have to be able to like not get pregnant, like for there to be like this equality
yeah.
thing, like just the end result of the like sexual act, you know,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that sense, which to be honest, you ask a lot of these women, they might think men can get pregnant, or at least they can't counter signal that idea.
Yeah. Big
Yeah.
time.
So that's a funny thing, that
Yeah.
a funny caveat within that. But I think there's something to that where it's just this like, I was told we were equal. How do we equal that biologically? And it's like, you don't.
You're trying to like play God, play
Yeah,
political God. Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like that is what happens when you have sex. And for the most part, like all of these women, I can't imagine there's all these women that aren't like, that are just raw dogging, like with no contraceptive, that are just like, hopefully I can have an abortion. Like I don't think that woman really exists. I think a
Yeah.
lot of these women, they go, well, contraceptives fail and there's rape and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but if we govern for like the sliver,
Yeah. Never works.
the literal sliver of the pie chart, that's how you get into dystopian hell. And I look, I'll say that much, like there's a lot of the big problem I have with guys at my work, because I mean these were like, kind of salt of the earth people, is like, they're like, they want to raise the kid, because there's always this like
Yeah.
absentee dad thing, which that guy does exist, but there was a lot of guys at my work that are just like, dude, I like down to be in my kid's life, but my wife,
Yeah.
my wife and I, it didn't work out, but now I have to pay like insane child support, and like child support sucks. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, dude, this guy,
Yeah.
he's paying for this woman's room. Like she
Yeah.
rents a room up north, and she just pockets her money.
That's crazy.
and like it just gets taken out of his check and stuff. And I'm just like, so we want child support, abortions and stuff. We're gonna leave it all in women's hand. And like, guess what? Are they happy? Do you notice that women out there, are they happy? No. I don't
Well,
think they're very happy right
I
now.
think and I'm talking more about, and this is like the California thing, where if your joint income is, like 1.5 million a year, the kid suddenly needs like 50K a month to survive, like those kind of things where it's like,
Yeah.
what? And I do think, and I'm not even saying like this in a bad or good way, that is a way that women in the modern world express their power. They're like,
It's totally a power thing.
this is how I can come up. This is like my back, how I can secure my back. Not obviously not. There's plenty of women that grind and do their thing on their own and stuff. But I mean, it is one of those things where you're like, funny enough, the same woman in my previous anecdote managed to get a huge percentage of the spouse's grandfather's inheritance that was left to them
Oh,
after
say.
after a not exceedingly long marriage with 0 kids. And I was just like, I remember hearing that, I was just like, what?
Good.
And it was so bizarre. I was just like, okay, I really, like half of that is going, it was a substantial sum, and it's like, damn, all right, you know, this is what we're doing now, I guess. And
But it
it's
feels like that's
insane,
the
man.
plan too with a lot of people. Is like, oh, you'll hear like, okay, people get together, they have a kid, they have no plan of getting married, they
Yeah.
have the kid, they split up, and then it's just legal battles for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it sucks. And then the kid, what does the kid see? You know, does the
Yeah.
kid know how to treat a woman or a man? You know?
Yeah.
Like, no,
Mm.
they think that there's these arbiters involved with all of every aspect of their
Yeah.
life, and these schedules and like that co-parenting thing. I'm like, that shit does not work, dude. That co-parenting stuff.
No.
I'm sure you can functionally do it, but as a like sustainably for a whole society, dude. No, I'm sorry, marriage works, dude. You just got married.
The best
You just got
case
married.
hope,
Can you imagine? I knew you're gonna start your family, but
Yeah.
like, sorry, that's not an announcement. I just mean you guys
Yeah,
plan
no,
on
no.
starting a family.
I know it's happened
But-
like 8 times where everyone,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
like, oh,
I
dude,
know.
congrats. And I'm like,
dude,
yeah,
people
it's
are
like,
ready.
not yet,
People are
dude.
ready for you to have an ultrasound
dude,
picture.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like, but I just mean, like,
That's funny.
when you plan to, could you ever imagine right now not being
Yeah.
married doing that?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Like,
And
I just like it's insane. Like, people hate
Yeah.
on that so hard. They're like, oh, marriage is like a thing of the past. I know our corner of the internet's a little more traditional. They've
Yeah.
a little more, but you talk to like the average person, they're just like, you maybe we get married.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like you just have a kid and you co-parent. I'm like, that is so stupid. So it's like you,
Yeah.
on one hand, you have abortion or co-parenting. What a great 2 options that you have.
And we
God.
ran that. We've been running this experiment, you know, and it's
Since the 90s.
Since
Our
yeah.
generation, which our
Uh-huh.
generation's a bunch of stunted millennials.
Yeah.
Who basically had parents competing over them.
Yeah.
Competing over them, competing for their love, telling them, gassing them up, telling them that they have the most brilliant kid in the world and stuff, or completely ignoring them. They're like, those are their 2 things. And now you have a completely stunted millennial generation. Because honestly, like as a kid, my thing that really saved me a lot was I saw a functioning marriage like my whole life, and it still is.
Yeah.
And it helped me with my own. Like it's really. I can't imagine never seeing it at all, and then just having an idea of getting it done. Like maybe I'm sure it does happen for some people that had bad home lives, but I can't imagine the probability is too high that that's going to be the case. So it's like, the ball. And feminists would argue this is a good thing, but I don't think if like these, especially in California, if these child support laws were just these easy way outs, I don't think as much divorce happens, and I don't think as much reckless family starting happens.
Yeah.
I look, things happen, heat of the moment, pregnancies happen, it's happens at the beginning of time. I just mean, there are people that just go in knowing that that's like how they're going to do it.
Yeah. It's like when you have a brand new iPhone and you don't have a case, you take good care of it, or if you have
I love that feeling. I do love that feeling of a no case phone.
Dude, it's so great.
Man.
Speaking of no protection, I mean, that's like
the best, dude.
Yeah,
it's the best. What am I going to put an OtterBox on here? I'm not going to feel
dude.
it.
Seal it in, dude. Yeah,
but I love you. I would never use an OtterBox.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
but
I'll be careful. Yeah. Don't worry.
Yeah. We need a letterbox bit, but OtterBox, dude. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's something there. Probably nothing.
Yeah,
good, but yeah,
it's just something like that. But the no, I guess that's where I was trying to like get at. It's like we're fighting for these reproductive rights and co-parenting, and it's just like it's trying to rearrange nature, which these people are worried that their climate models are going to come true when it comes to nature, but they're rearranging like human nature as though it's this easy thing to do, and like this will fix everything, fix all of our quote unquote woes. Which remember when we were growing up, teen pregnancy was a huge woe. That was like just as bad as being a meth addict.
Yeah,
remember it was on par, if not worse.
Yeah,
it was like teen pregnancy and stuff. And I don't know that you have to. That's a little young in my opinion, but like it was kind of like I knew people that bounced back. Like they would have the kid early and they'd be like,
yeah,
all right, like it was kind of at the beginning, kind of rocky, kind of tough, like it's like it was kind of tough to get done. Definitely a little stigma to it too. And then like after a while, they're like, yeah, I got my shit together. It like made me want to like work hard and stuff. And do this. Whereas now it's like, no, I want to birth control, abortion, IVF, hopefully. And then what? And then transhumanism, so I can live to 120 and have and do this Welbeck neo-human life that I want to do.
There's a weird spiritual malaise with kind of Brian Johnsoning the whole trying to engineer it and architect it. And by the way, I'm a lot kinder to Brian Johnson than most people.
Sure,
I think he's whatever.
People were hating on him so hard the other day. They're like, "You're gonna get hit by a bus." It's like
that's like
he's happy, dude. Just let him be happy.
Yeah, the dude, the dude posts like his nighttime erection quality results, dude. It's like you gotta love that a little bit, dude.
It is funny, and like he knows he's pissing you off too. By the way, like there's a lot of people that don't get that. Like they think he's just nerding out hard and like with no awareness. I'm like, he knows that you hate this.
Yep. And by the way, by ex-Mormon too. By the way, my wife.
Dude, what happens if he eats a crumble now, dude? I bet
I
bet he crumbles.
Dude, I bet he crumbles. Lost my mind.
Yeah,
that's why. Maybe he's like an angel investor or something. He's like a fucking but he's like dude. He sold Venmo for $900 million. That's insane, dude.
That's
so what if he's like half his net worth is in biohacking and the other half is in crumble cookies?
Dude, I had somebody demand money from me in Venmo the other day. It really made me mad.
Oh, dude, what?
Somebody could have just the thing is they could have just texted me.
Dude, that's the millennial. That's the beta. That's
they did. They're like, so and so demanded. I'm like, or requested money, and I was like, we work together. Just hit me up.
Yeah,
exactly. And it was over something that's like 3 weeks from now. It's like a thing we're throwing, like a little party we're throwing, for somebody, like a retirement party. And I'm like, I got you, dude. First off, I said I was going to. You don't have to like that. And but then that was I hated like this LinkedIn style everything is just so official with like paper trail and receipts. I'm like, dude, come on.
I'm a Cash App, bro, dude. I'm a hood. That's hood Venmo, dude. Cash App, dude. I love Cash.
I've never had a Cash App. Yeah,
dude.
I've never had that. We need to start one for RC. We need to start pay pigging people, dude.
We do.
We need to start just super chatting. We do. I'm jealous of
dude, the Jack and low, pops up, dude.
Jack and low res and all them. They got it figured out with the reviewing, paying for like certain movies to get reviewed and stuff. I'm like, oh man, we got to do albums and stuff.
I mean,
like
the business model's there. We got to
do. I think albums would be sick if people just like, because everybody wants us to review gay ass artists. Like they're always like, you interview this guy who used to like, it was a gay British guy, and then I'm like, oh, okay. But like I'm never gonna get to it, but hey, if we had a way to do that. Anyways, quick announcement. I do want to get back to what we were gonna say.
Oh, go ahead.
I do want to get back to what we were saying because I forget it. Make sure you guys hit the Coast to Coast hotline. 510-256-9850. We're recording this Saturday with Scott, of course. I think it's volume 5 at this point. We're way up there. We got a lot of source material. We've got some great voicemails and some emails already, but we want to hear from you. You can it could be a secondhand ghost story too. It does not have to be like something that happened to you. Ghost story, something spooky. It doesn't have to be ghost, spooky, anything, paranormal, aliens, anything that was just weird, something your friend told you. I'm down. We're down for it all. That's the beauty of Coast to Coast is you never know what's real and what's fake. 510-256-9850 or email rarecandyindustries@gmail.com. So anyways, we were talking about this. You were talking about people trying to Brian Johnson.
I'm very excited about that paranormal shit. That's good.
I'm pumped. Yeah, we got Salem's Lot and that. We're getting spooky. And dude, shout out to our boy DJ Angel Pace making the Halloween theme song. Dude, the editing, where that's going to be in there. Iteration remixed our theme song for a little, made it spooky. Dude, it's becoming such a fun thing. But you were saying people were trying. I'm interested in this. People were trying to kind of Brian. Everybody hates Brian Johnson, but people are obsessed with like Brian Johnsoning like biology.
They're trying to Brian their Johnson, so to speak, with and they're it's just weird. And I it's one of those things that seems inevitable, but okay, as technology grows, we're starting to directly interfere with the interface of the soul almost, right? As we get closer to conception and changing your baby's eye color and shit like that, and all these superficial things, which are all done by materialists, by the way. Those are all materialist projects. Just fine, whatever. But it's like at some point we're gonna run into the soul aspect of this, and I do believe in reincarnation almost on a scientific basis. I don't know what it is, but there is some sort of phenomenon where little children remember past lives with accuracy, and that's been verified. It doesn't mean that they were that person, or I don't know what it means, but it does mean that some kids have some weird telepathic connection to like, some random dude in Tibet or some random dude in Scotland or whatever, and Like the data behind that are pretty fascinating. So yeah, there's definitely something going on where, you know, it's just one of those things where we're gonna keep trying to do these materialist things, and when it's fundamentally a soul based kind of soul decision that's coming through, whatever that means. It's like a black box. You know, none of us really know what's going on the other side, or you know what heaven is, what all that you know what I mean, what all that stuff is.
What sucks about women is women
Yeah,
have such wonderful intuition, you know, and I'm not
uh,
there's no joke coming here. Like they truly like
yeah,
they do have such
yeah,
wonderful intuition, but like they like part of they're kind of able to, you know, see things the way that we're not able to, which is like, but that just gets preyed on so hard. Like all you
yes,
got to do is show, you know, kids in cages, one video of a kid in a cage, and they're immediately for open borders. All you
and
have to do is show like one thing about, you know, with reproductive health. Like it'll be
yeah,
all things that to prey on it, to where we take away that intuitive decision that they might make, or when they're pressed with maybe something, an unplanned pregnancy, something that they're you know, would be scary for a little bit,
yeah,
but like for a while, like we have been surviving. Like the world was not
yeah,
on fire like what before Roe v. Wade. Like I'm sorry, it wasn't. Like so.
yeah.
Um, Again, I'm down to
Yeah,
leave it up to the states. I am not one of these like pro-life or nothing. This is not who I am. I'm down to leave it up to the states. If you want to choose that, that's fine.
yeah.
Whatever.
The weird thing is it's that liberal thing where they think if you're not completely down with our project, you're like a Southern Baptist, you
Coded.
know, like
Everything's coded, dude.
yeah,
Everything's
and it's
coded.
like, oh, well, I'm like a normal dude from the fucking Bay Area, like you and I both are, and it's like
Yeah.
I don't have your take on this. Sorry, you know, it's like I'm not a fucking, and even if I was, so what? I'm not allowed to have a take. But
Oh
it's
no.
but yeah, the women's intuition. Yeah, we've always defended that on this podcast,
Sure.
and I do think that's like a big part of, you know, there's like certain aspects of each gender, each sex, male and female, that we all have our little blind spots and our shadow sides and stuff, and there's like a collective shadow side. I think part of maturing as a collective female, if I can speak on that side of things, is letting go of that like ultra, because the intuition is like, oh no, my baby's going to get eaten by a shark or something, you know, and
Right.
that's
Right.
useful
Right.
for survival. It can be hijacked for bad, and you know, it's good to just kind of just rise above that wave, just that sea level, just a little bit. Men have other things that they need to rise above a little
Yeah.
bit too, that would transform our society.
From the 5 to the 6, we be in the mix. With that red candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, can't do shit.
You know, and I think, yeah, and the thing is, the elites, they know this. They know the elites know that women are psychic. You know, they know this stuff,
100%. They
and
prey
it's
on
like
them.
they
They
prey on
prey
it.
on them.
Yeah, exactly.
They
And
prey
it's
on them, and there are women that have Stockholm syndrome for that are happening, right? Like, or love basically not being able to use it, you know,
yeah,
like, or to be using it
yeah,
on some like on a Netflix true crime doc. I knew she was lying.
yeah,
You know, like that's where they want to use it rather than these real life
yeah,
situations. And again, that what I was talking about with co-parenting is like you have
yeah,
that men's kind of, I don't know if it's a brute force is not maybe the term I want to do, but just the ability to just end something right then and there, remove a bad situation from there, plus women's intuition. There are a lot of kids that just only deal with one, and growing up under only women's intuition kind of sucks,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
because they only count their W's. By the way, have you noticed that there's no win-loss record? It's always just the W's.
Oh yeah,
Because what about that one time?
yeah,
I didn't say that. Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah, but no,
yeah.
they have the W's. But then again, with men,
By the
like
way,
you grow
yeah,
up,
it's like I say this as someone who keeps track of remote viewing intuition
yeah,
meticulously with spreadsheets and graphs. I know what it's like to lose. By the way, Tampa's defense is so fucking soft tonight. Like, what is going
yeah,
on there, dude?
more like Todd
Yeah,
Vowels, dude, just releasing the vowels.
dude,
Yeah,
exactly, dude, yeah. But
but
yeah. So it's the losses are front and center. We know what that's like. But yeah, and it's interesting. But I did want to say about the Mormon thing. My because my wife and we clown on Mormons quite a bit in a loving manner, because her one of her childhood friends was like a big Mormon family, so she was and so we'll always talk. I'll always tell her the latest on like Zach Wilson, quarterback and all that stuff. But today she's like, you got to talk about this in the podcast. You know that Mormons will add like creamer to soda, right? Like sweet creamer,
like Nescafe, like
dude.
International Delights, dude. Fruity Pebbles. Damn, did they do the Fruity Pebbles creamer? That's got to shock an employee, because they're like, I didn't expect you to buy this.
Yeah. Have you seen the internet? I'm just saying that this is another thing I've seen on like social media apps that I don't have, that are shown to me.
We know who watches them in your house.
Yeah. Where it's like girls will create a water, quote unquote, now.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, but it's like this. It's like the Skittles electrolytes or whatever, like the Crystal Light, and it's like, dude, it's like your water's got like 67 grams of sugar in it.
This is why you guys need to pick up books and read them. Because not you, I just mean there are people who like I've been seeing a lot of this stuff where like I haven't watched one of that Costco family, and I'm not even hating on them. They're a father with his sons.
Yeah,
like that, whatever. That's fine. That's better than a lot of things. But I don't know what the Rizzler. I don't know why the Rizzler's cool or anything, because anytime I do that, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I got a book to read.
Yeah,
because you get caught in the vortex, you won't get out of that, and you'll be like, this is so. Why is everything so fucked? I hate this. And you're like, put it down. Put it down. Pick up a book instead, or anything, literally anything, because like that,
there's power in that.
Because of that water, I've seen the video of the water, and I was infuriated to the point where I couldn't do anything productive for like an hour. After that, I was thinking about it. I was like, it was this portly seed-oiled woman. She's not
tallowed up, dude. She's not, dude.
Wearing clothes that like the CEO of the company that makes the clothes is like, no. She had the Lululemon one. By the way, I do love that the Lululemon CEO said his clothes are not for fat chicks, and also he made it Lululemon because it was funny to hear Asians pronounce it. That's hilarious. But
he's pretty like hardcore.
I mean,
dude, right?
That's funny that he's not a white dude for Harris, I don't think. I wouldn't.
That's so funny that, dude. I love it, dude. It's like if you build it, they will come, dude. It doesn't matter.
Dude, it's so funny that like Teslas and Lululemon are compromised for libs.
It is. It's
because
something to that.
Dude, it's hilarious. Like they man, because if Hydro Flask comes out as base, oh bro, watch out. If Hydro Flask says stop the steal after the election,
remember when they were like freaking out about Goya beans? And it's like everyone's like,
"Forgot about Goya beans,
dude." Remember Goya beans?
Because that guy was like on the wall.
It's like, like the 80-year-old Mexican CEO guy isn't total libtard. It's like, what a shock, dude.
I know.
Yeah, this is so great.
That's so funny. But I know, I forgot about Goya beans. But they always get into these consumer product battles and stuff. And, I'm sure there's going to be some McDonald's pushback. I'm sure. Here's how you make your McCafe unproblematically at home on TikTok. That's coming. And but the making water thing, when the because I love water. Water is I hold it dear in my heart. We've talked about water quality more than most podcasts ever would. But when I saw that girl just adding all this stuff, and people just go, just let her enjoy it. Just let her. No, I'm not going to.
I'm
not. No, you don't. You can find a hobby that's better than that. I'm sorry. Like they always treat her like a sick puppy. It's like you are literally a sick puppy. Like let's get you healthy. Or the thing is like you're like people are the thing that sucks is the person. I'm usually always more mad about the demand, because I see somebody seeing that and like, I got to try that now. Not because they think it's going to be good, but because they want to try it. And I'm like, you made this like Crystal Light, like hummingbird nectar with like Pepsi in it, dude. It's like, and they're like, I'm hydrated, in my lane, moisturized. And then somebody comments, like in the comments, someone goes, actually, you shouldn't say that, because that's actually cultural appropriation. That's a black woman saying. And then that's the argument that happens in the comments. And then I just want to throw my phone in the river. So that's where we are as a society. We're making water. People clown on me for going to fill up, or my wife does this actually more than I do, but for us to go fill the water jugs up at the place, the reverse.
She's got bigger muscles. You have a hard time carrying the 5-gallon jug.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm
it's hard.
dude,
It's a lot of weight.
I'm handicapped, dude. I'm handicapped. And she goes, but then like they'll watch a video of a girl making water.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on. You made Skittles water. Like this is
Skittles water, dude.
and the thing is like,
yeah,
they have Skittles water.
Yeah.
At the store, which is also horrible. Like, and I don't know. They'll let people enjoy things crowd for that. I'm like, first off, TikTok is satanic. I hate TikTok. I hate TikTok so much. It's worse than any social media app. I see my coworkers, dude. The other day, my coworker, no headphones, went through about 33 TikToks in a row with no headphones and was like,
no headphones is rough. Yeah.
And what was funny is, I'm not saying I wanted him to do this. He didn't just show me. I thought he was going to show me one of them. No, he was just locked in.
Yeah.
Watching them top of the thing, all the same songs that you hear over and over again. And I was like, man, this is really bad. Like, this is really bad for people. And like, yeah, I don't know. I know some people are like, oh, it's based because for like hurricanes, you can get like the true news. And like, I don't think
that's not what you're using it for.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what you're doing on TikTok. Man, there's a whole nother world out there, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk about a rather nostalgic memory that I had because on YouTube, when my wife and I are looking for things to like unwind with at the end of the night, we watch Cops, old episodes of Cops.
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved it growing up. It's funny how everyone watched that, no matter what side of the political aisle was. Everyone liked Cops back then. Like, and I mean the show Cops. Even if you like didn't like actual police officers. Like, I knew like black dudes that have gone to jail like 3 times that watched Cops. They're like, oh yeah, this shit's sick. This is my favorite officer right here. Some of the guys perform, dude. Some of the guys perform. There's a black dude that's in Vegas and he looks like Dr. Ben Carson. And and he's like, this is like probably late 90s, early 2000s. And he pulls up, he goes, well, what have we here? And he gets out of the car like that. And he goes, oh, lady, pipe down. I'm gonna get to you, you know, like, and you can tell he's performing.
Ben Carson.
Dude, he totally looks like Dr. Ben Carson. Anybody who has like seen this will know who I'm talking about. And best cities are Jacksonville and Fort Worth. That has the most electric ones, dude. There was a 90-year-old woman who stabbed her friend over talking shit about her son.
Hell yeah.
In her arm, dude, broke the skin. And she was holding the knife when the cops came in. And the lady was like, that's her right there, officer, like that. And then the lady was like, still had the knife. They're like, dude, put the knife down. And she goes, that's her. She's raising the devil with that thing. And she's like bleeding out of her arm.
Jesus.
And the cop was like, he was like a white guy, like probably in his like 30s. And he's like, I don't want to take this lady to jail, but like the fucking, she like stabbed the woman, like, and she like broke the skin and stuff. And but then also, I mean, the song is so electric.
I mean, that's one of those things, like, without the song, there's nothing. I mean, it's still a great show, but
it's by Inner Circle. Inner Circle has another big song where they do that, and it's a bad song. This is a bad song. This is an MK Ultra activation song for me. Is la 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 la, that stupid reggae song. You know the one I'm talking about? That's a MK Ultra like blackout in the mall during an election year for me, like activated by the CIA. This song goes so hard, and I thought it was a song that they took from like they were like, can we use this song for Cops? Like Fox. No, they made the song for Cops. This is original content for Cops, which is crazy because, like, you know, like they were probably smoking hella weed in the studio. Can you imagine if that was like the first episode of Cops? Like, all right, we're arresting Inner Circle for having a mason jar full of marijuana here, and
mason jar.
like, all right, Inner Circle, get down on the ground. They're like, we're making a song for Cops. But Cops really reminds me of being a kid where it's like really hot outside. Like, I feel like I'd never watched that show in cold weather. I feel like it's like June bugs on the door, kind of on the screen door, porch light flickering, and you're just like eating like horrible garbage food with their parents, like on like a Saturday night, and
it's a
like,
porch show. Yeah,
dude, it fucking love. Why we watch it all the time now, and they have iterations of it, like Live PD, which Live PD sucks. That's like, I don't know. It's not for me, but it's Live PD
doesn't hit. It doesn't hit.
Live PD. They have like the control center where it's like,
or
it's like they go to the guy. It's like he's like ESPN. He's like, all right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go out to Tallahassee. Tallahassee looks like a hot spot tonight, and let's go to Officer Jarrett. and like, all right, I like when it's just like already edited. You found the best shit of the week.
Like a highlight reel, like America's Funniest Home Videos.
Curate this for me. I don't want live. I don't need live, because half the time it's really boring. I don't. It did suck back in the day. I know some people will disagree, but like you'd see like somebody in the 90s, and they're like, they go into this house and all they do is just find like 2 like weed plants. And they arrest the guy. And it's like, I bet you feel like an idiot. The cop will always say that. I bet you feel like an idiot, huh? Bet you thought it was just a plant, huh? And the guy's like, fuck yeah, I guess. And he's like, you're going to jail for 100 years.
Different era.
Yeah, I know.
I was watching that like, yes, dude. It's like, dude, fuck yeah.
My grandpa told the funniest story. Rest in peace, man. This guy, he's just my grandpa was the most Republican man of all time, East Coast Republican. He moved to Arizona when Barry Goldwater was popping off there, and he was like, Goldwater was his guy, who was like the conservative. My grandfather was, everything had to have a utility. He used to say, I don't know why you'd ever have a shirt without a pocket. He's like, what would, like, you don't have the pot, like, what's even the shirt for at this point? Like you have to be able to put something there. To be honest, I like pockets on my shirts. I do. So you might be.
He's not wrong, dude.
I think he's right. But he's one of those like hyper practical people. So he was telling me and my dad a story one time about a guy getting pulled over on cops that he couldn't believe how funny it was. And it was a guy getting pulled over, obviously like fucked up behind the wheel. And the cop gets out and goes, hey, so have you had any drink tonight, or any drugs? You guys been partying or something? The guy's like, nah, not at all. And then my grandpa says, and he's like laughing, like wheezing laughing, trying to tell the story. And he goes, and he had a marijuana cigarette on his ears. And we were laughing because he said marijuana cigarette. We were like, dork, joint, like, but the old people found out all about drugs from cops.
They did. You just threw me back, because one of my mentors, one of my coaches, when I was really young, he was like an old guy in his 80s. He was super cool. And he, one of our younger friends, he kind of like, got out of the game, and he started, smoking weed and shit. And then, so my mentor guy, he comes up and he's like, Jared was caught with marijuana cigarettes, like, you would never do that, right? And I was just cracked, even though I wasn't even into weed then. I was just like, it's so funny.
I know. Well, because it was sick back in the day to watch people get busted for drugs, like when you were a kid. You're like, I would never do that. And then you realize, you're like, fuck, I really want to do that stuff. That sounds so fun. Like, this is so tight. And it is wild, because there are some times where like I'm kind of like not rooting for the person, because like sometimes it's like really scary people that are like on meth, and like the women are crazy when like women get pulled over in cops. They have like put bags over their head to like fucking, because they're thrashing around so hard and they're on meth, and they lie so crazy. That's the part I hate, because I hate stealing and lying a lot. Like that's like why drug addiction is so bad to me, to be honest. Is the lying and stealing really annoys me. And they'll just be like, this car isn't stolen. My boyfriend was hitting me and I just took it. I had to get out of the house. And he's like, well, I have like a meth pipe here that I found right here. It's like, that's his. And he's like, and you don't smoke it? And her lips are like cracked, like hitting the pipe and stuff. And the cop found like 2 grams of meth like on her and stuff. And then she was like, well, if you're just gonna throw me in jail, then go ahead. And then like starts like freaking out and like thrashing her head. And I was like, and the cops all look at each other like,
okay, dude.
Sniff that one out, dude. And the worst is when women get pulled over and they don't realize, and then they see it's a lady officer and they're like, fuck. Damn it. What am I gonna do now?
Exactly.
Oh gosh. Cops YouTube channel, for anybody who hasn't explored that, if you're looking for something on YouTube, they have like archived seasons I'm on season 17 and 18 is seems to be the most popular on there. If so, I think that takes place probably in like 2003, 2004.
Couldn't you buy the tapes like almost like America's Gone Wild or something, you know, kind of thing, or like
with the steel drum playing or what?
Yeah, like isn't there? Couldn't you buy like VHS or like it was like an early drop, like the new Cops? Or am I tripping? I don't know.
I don't know. I could see that, but it was just on Fox. I just felt like it was.
Yeah, no, it was on TV for sure.
Yeah,
too, but I think if that if that wasn't enough for you, you could get like tapes of them too. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was when it was like 100 degrees throwing on, dude, it took me back. And I'm, you know, nostalgia does depress me a little bit. I've always been, I like, you know, revisiting things. That's fine and stuff. But sometimes like that's why this new Welbeck book is so good so far. I was like, because it's classic Welbeck. It's like romantic, kind of like romantic nihilism, like toggling back and forth between nostalgia, romantic, and nihilism. And he, you get that like kind of like sick to your stomach feeling because all that so much stuff is different and like you can't have not even so much have that time. I don't want to be young again. It's like I want the personal relationships to be the same, for us not to be jaded by each other and stuff. And that, but like for some reason watching Cops was like, damn, this is like me just like eating a fucking massive bowl of ice cream at night, like, you know, played a baseball game during the day and stuff, like just peak like child performance. You know, and when then Cops is on at night and everybody's like sweating and we have like fans, like Chinese sweatshop fans in my little duplex with my parents. Nothing better, dude.
One prant, dude.
One prant. Yeah. Dude, I've always lived in a Chinese sweatshop, like my whole life. Dude, did I tell you they upgraded to 2 prant?
Is this real? This isn't like a
so our lease is up.
Who fought for that, dude? Is that like some workers' rights shit? Some like fist in the air, dude. 2 prant.
First off, you guys don't know the prant story. It's been archived on the Substack for a long time, but you get our new lease agreement. So our rent went up, obviously. Rent goes up every year. Our rent goes up and they go, and strict rule, 2 prant.
Oh my god, dude! No,
and it said 2 parentheses the number 2 as well.
The classic
like
legal
2 prant only. Any further prant gets you violation.
Further prant,
and I was just like, wait, we can have 2 now? And I looked and there's 7 prant on one balcony over there. I was like, that's a wild person over there. It is a dictatorship. But yeah, they upgrade. They basically said like, we raise the rent, you raise the prant.
Yeah,
that's what they said. So it's we can have 2
and
now.
again, what's the down? There's no. It's a control thing. There's no downside to more prant.
No,
on the fucking right. It's like, I mean, it can't negatively affect the proprietors of that establishment in any way, right? I don't know.
Because like I don't know.
It's purely a control thing, is what I'm saying, right? It has to be. Yeah,
I think so. I think that. Look, man,
I don't know.
I don't want to say what I think. We all know why. It's just they want to just. I think they arbitrarily was like, okay, 2 prant. You know, like it looks. They were walking around. They're like, this place could use 1 more prant per balcony. So I don't know. I thought that was an important update. I forgot. I think I didn't want to say that with William M. Briggs. He probably would have liked it, but
dude, that was a great episode,
dude. That guy rules. You were getting into
shout out, dude. Do you want to? I want to talk about that. I don't know if you do, but I do.
I do. I want to hear about this because I woke up because like the subs. I have like the.
I was using the rare candy.
No, but I mean, I get the alerts for that, so I'm like, but I can't respond to this Spurg loser. Not William M. Briggs. This is a guy on William M. Briggs Substack. Now, one thing that happens is sometimes you have guests on and they don't like, they don't need to like promote all the time, but sometimes they like won't even like promote it at all. And you're kind of like, that really, you don't want anyone to know you were on the show or anything.
Exactly.
Now he was quite the opposite. He gave us his own Substack post, wrote a little piece about it. He was really interested in the Psy stuff. Loved that guy. I really want to get him on again. And we had just met him like the week before in the wild on like X and just were like, hey, do you want to come on? Came on, no problem. And so he had posted something basically alluding that, you were into Psy, remote viewing and all that. Yeah. And there were a couple people, and I was getting these like walls of text about, they were calling you like a scam artist.
Yeah. Well, there was one guy. Most people, there was some, and honestly, William, I don't even know if Briggs, he's kind of like, I want to take a look at it, like whatever, I'm not, it's fine to be skeptical. I think you should be skeptical, okay, of psi and stuff like that. Obviously, when you're in it, if you are like everyone that consistently remote views, no one does it to fool themselves. They know it's real. It's because they had some crazy hits doing it, and they're like, "What the fuck? Like, we have this power." You know, it's like a very it contains its own engine, if you will. You know, where it's like no one is just writing on pieces of paper random fucking weird target numbers and stuff. Like, it contains the seed of its own growth within it. So like Briggs is kind of like, yeah, you know, I don't know if it's for me or I don't know, whatever, but like it's interesting, you know, and he talked about it. But there's this one guy who was just kind of like dismiss and, you know, clearly didn't understand our remote viewing sports process where he's like, why don't you just view the winner of the game? Just tell me what the winner is. See if it comes across your mind.
That's literally what I do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like
my role in all of this is to say that.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, by the way, you just took a huge, you just like, we lost 5 in a row and you won those 5 in a row. It's fucking shitty week. But anyway, we'll catch up. Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so this guy is like, yeah, why don't you, and so I was just kind of like, hey, you know, like, I was nice. I was like, here's our process. And I wrote this whole wall of text. And I was just kind of like, and the whole thing with the, you know, getting 56% of your hits right over thousands and thousands and thousands of trials, you know, like the way statistics works is if you flip a coin 1,000,000 times and it comes up head 56% of the time, you have a biased coin, right? Even though it's like it's only 6%, it is a biased coin, right? And like if the more trials you do, if you do 10 million and it's still 56%, you are that much more sure that it's a biased coin, right? It's like that's called statistical power. And obviously, if you flip a coin 100 times and it's 56 out of 100 is heads, that's not proof one way or the other. You know, you're kind of like, I don't know, you know, whatever. It could be just a fluctuation or variance or whatever. And just because an effect is small, so a lot of these psi effects are small, but they're real, right? And so I was just trying to explain that, and then he wrote this whole thing back that was like, prove it, man. Just predict the lottery. Literally predict the next lottery winner. Go, and he links to like the Mega Millions website.
Damn.
I'm like, okay, fag. Like, it's like you clearly are not as smart as you think you are.
Yeah. He started getting a little aggressive. That's why I didn't like. That's why I didn't like his little science brain. Those people pride themselves on being like level-headed, and then you're supposed to be the one that freaks out. You're like, I have an edge. Like, you're supposed to be doing that, but he turned into like a little nasty little. Here's the link to the Mega Millions website,
dude. And it's like, okay, yes, believe it or not, picking a random number 1 through 50 6 times in a row to win $500 million is indeed harder than picking whether a team is going to win or lose. Like, everyone knows that. Dude. Like,
picking against the Titans. Dude.
I know. Exactly. It's like he made his thing was like, it's almost like, okay, if you're like, it's like, oh, you pitched 90 miles an hour. You pitched an 89 mile an hour curveball in the, you know, against the Yankees. Then you're the Dodgers, you know, like in the World Series coming up. Like, oh, you think you're good? Go ahead and go out there and pitch me 1,000 mile an hour fastball. You can't do it. You know, it's like, that's literally what that is. Like, that's exactly what that is. So yeah, fuck that dude. Shout out William. And the thing is, like, I know if William Briggs is reading these back and forths, I know he's on our side, because it's like, I explained the math and also, like, come on, it's like Michael Crichton's remote viewer.
Yeah,
the U.S. military funded this for like 30 years, and
not for nothing.
And then they don't. It's like, yeah, they could be faking that for 30 years, and that's what they always say. They're like, they waste money on all sorts of stuff. And it's like, yeah, but no, you know, they're not throwing money away to do psychic research. I don't think so. Anyway,
I don't think
real.
so either.
It's real. I don't know what to like. This shit's real. It's not like 100% all the time or whatever, but there's something going on. And that's my whole thing is like, it's the difference between like, yes, I'm skeptical, but there's something going on here. Let's investigate further, versus being like, you know, and
it's actually nothing, because you can't. Yeah, I know. Hate that at all. All of that. I guess last thing, did you see what Obama said about Bitcoin today?
No. Oh God, I'm ready for this. What happened?
He said I don't have the clip. I should have got it, but he said I thought it was quite interesting. He said having Bitcoin, he was very obviously. I don't think Obama's a big BTC guy. I can't imagine that would be. I can't imagine that would.
If he was, dude. Yeah, he's like
Yeah,
2000. He's like, I learned a lot in the '08 crash. That he's
Satoshi. I fucked him in a limo. Yeah,
in a limo. Dude. Yeah,
yeah. But
I know who.
Yeah, me and Michelle, fucked Satoshi, and
Michael Satoshi Obama, dude.
Yeah, but he basically said it's like having a Swiss bank account in your like just having your own personal Swiss bank account.
Okay, based, yeah.
I know. And he was like, "Isn't that
trying
scary?
To make it seem lame, dude? Yeah,
isn't Bank of America so much sicker?
Yeah,
like, yeah. But
they can freeze your account for trucker protests. Yeah, if they want to, dude. Yeah,
okay. But also, it's kind of not. It's kind of deceiving in a sense because people think getting a Coinbase account and having Bitcoin.
Yeah,
which that's always the rebuttal. It's like, well, it is tracked. It is back to blockchain. I don't. Some of these terms are a little vague to me. They'll say it's like, you know, when we had Fredo on, it was basically like not your key, not your coin, basically, like, which I think is true. And I think less and less people are actually going that route of like owning your actual Bitcoin because it's easy. You get Coinbase, you get these other things, and you
and buy. People want to speculate. They don't want to. They don't want to USB drive it. They want to like gamble on it and stuff.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. But I just, why is it popping up again? It's popping up all over the place, like these things. And I think there's some nefarious stuff with like people talking about, you know, CBDC and all of these things, you know, that seem pretty on the way, but if not already here. But with the Bitcoin, he was like, I don't know what the context was of bringing it up or anything, but he was like pretty like, Obama's been running the fucking country, by the way, right? Like, do we not like, he literally still runs the country.
Yeah, but like, I always wonder what his day, like, who's telling him what to say? You know, what's the deeper like, you know, I wonder what his day's like. Does he have a separate iPhone where they're just like, you're talking about Bitcoin today, you know? And I'm fascinated by that shit. He's a fascinating guy, not for the way people think, you know, but it's like there's something fascinating about what's going on there, you know, with like because he is the most deep state guy out of all of it. If you were to crown a winner, dude, it's not Clinton's like, you know, that's like he's the leader guy and all that shit.
And kind of just like, old school. They're kind of like old guard. Like,
and also I don't think they like each other too. They like those camps, you know?
No.
Yeah.
I think Obama was kind of like the sus star. Like, you know, he was like, whoa, this is like Shohei Ohtani. Like, you know, like just this like, whoa, you know, the Clintons were like Barry Bonds in terms of like, where everyone's like, not in my day, you couldn't get away with that. But I thought just shitting on Bitcoin at that time, it's a very odd. I thought, okay, I didn't think Bitcoin's over. I always think Bitcoin hate is super like Reddit and like dirtbag.
Oh, it's so dumb. Yeah,
but I just thought we were kind of like past like Bitcoin hysteria, but it's coming back.
Yeah, I think I think I like the ecosystem where it is. I do think some exchanges are better than others. You know, in terms of if you are going to keep your shit on an exchange. You know, like I think like Coinbase is super like Reddit, Bill Gates, bad vibes, and Kraken is probably the better one. You know, if you're gonna go with a mainstream one. But and if you want privacy, you can do other. The ecosystem is good. I like people are like Bitcoin haters or they're Bitcoin maximalists. Like Bitcoin can always be king, and there's always other options and shit. And part of honestly, the public nature of Bitcoin is one of its kind of people clowning it, but it's actually kind of one of its benefits. You need a Bitcoin, is what I'm saying. And it's good stuff. Yeah, the Swiss bank account thing, that's so funny, dude. Yeah, it's like stop making me like it more. You know,
I know it's so funny because like it's supposed to like
that trucker shit. It's like, yeah, your 60K is gone. You know, just like it's like what? Dude, it's insane, dude. How did
that just transed like 15 people. Thank you for your not getting your social credit up. Like, just ridiculous.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Um,
That's what, dude. That's the other thing. Like liberals love Black Mirror. They're like, whoa, this show is crazy, but then they'll support all the policies. You know, it's like,
I know.
Yeah, it's
Their dystopian stuff is all just like, well, Trump wants to do this. It's like, okay. That's great. These are the media literacy people, by the way. The people that like the media literacy degree in why you know, in why Pennywise was good, you know, in it or something. I just actually Pennywise was good. Those kids were racist. But I don't know. The speaking of which, like I said, Gain of Fiction is rolling. We got the band together. Very fun episode of Salem's Lot, but it's not just a Salem's Lot episode. We talk about many Stephen King works, Stephen King's politics. I don't know if he would like it, but fuck, I'd love to talk to Stephen King and ask how to earn it. I think we could heal the country if we talked to Stephen King and had like a real conversation about the world. I bet you we would actually unite people on that. So that's coming out later this week. Next week is going to be Coast to Coast. We're recording that on Saturday. Like I said, if anything's scary, some suppressed memory, like It or something, some repressed memory comes out, hit the hotline at 510-256-9850 or rarecandyindustries@gmail.com. You can email your story. We do have one email there that is seems pretty cool, so we'll be reading that on the show. We'll be discussing a documentary about possession by Malachi Martin and stuff, as well as Art Bell. A little more spooky theme because it's Halloween. A little more spooky, less paranormal. Paranormal, but it like bad paranormal, scary stuff. So and then also, guys, it does help if you listen to us on Apple. Please leave us a review. 5 stars, please. The 4-star one kills me when I see 4 stars. It's like, why would you do that?
That's a boomer vibe. 4-star review.
Yeah, exactly. Like 4-star. Come on, dude. Like, you either hate us or you love us. That's the 2 things you get. That's 2 reviews that you give. And then Spotify has a review system as well. It really helps us get the show out there. And so on that note, guys, everyone have a safe week. We will catch you guys next time.